The recap for round 1 of the Rugby Championship is coming up. Stay tuned. Welcome back to SkinnyBru Rugby, guys. So I'm gonna start off by saying thanks for all the support I've been getting. Thanks for everyone subscribing at the moment. I really appreciate it. Even though sometimes I mess a little bit up with say having music too loud in the background. Sorry about that. I'm gonna try and do it a little bit better this week. I'm just gonna play it really softly in the background. It is just to drown out some background noises like dogs and cars and things like that. I hope you guys continue supporting my channel as we go into the international season. I really appreciate it. So on SkinnyBru this week, the results or the leader, it's the same thing this week. Daniel, you're at the top of the prediction pool. So the weekend actually had 2 games. It was South Africa beating Australia 35-17, and then Argentina going down to a narrow defeat against the All Blacks 16-20. Here is what happened in the first game. The Springboks had a reasonably good game against 51,000 supporters. I just don't know. What do you think? If they made the ticket prices a little bit lower, wouldn't there be more people and they would actually get more revenue out of the game? Because there was still a lot of open seats. I don't know. The cheap tickets went for like $200. I think the more expensive ones were $600. Let me know your thoughts of that one. I've really wondered about it for a couple of years. I'm thinking of maybe doing a video on that ticket prices. The Wallabies, they didn't have their best outing, but the score could have been a lot different. Haylett Petty, he had a knock on over the line basically. He should have scored that try any day of the week. And then there was a disallowed try because of a forward pass. I'm not counting even that one. That was a forward pass. Irrespective of what anyone else says, that was forward pass. And of course that yellow card they got, Checker and Kearns, they are nagging about it again. So let's just tackle the controversial topic already in the start of this video. Look, I think Paul Williams had a great game with the whistle. Alstad, he did have an illegal clean out in that ruck, and he was blown for it, and just a couple of milliseconds after the whistle blowed, Tupou actually retaliated with a dangerous clean out with a shoulder to the chest neck area. So yes, it could be a penalty. To me, penalty, yellow card, that is what you are looking at in that situation, because it is seen as a way of retaliation. Even if it was before the whistle went, it is still a way of retaliation, and that type of stuff should be stopped in the game. You should let the referee do this, make the decisions in the game. So to me, it is probably the right call. I don't know, maybe I'm a bit biased because I'm South African. Maybe let me know your thoughts. Maybe I didn't see it from every angle, but yeah, that's according to me. But let's get over to the more positive stuff of the game. The Boks, they did try to have a nice running game on the day. Elton Jantjies, who has been struggling with the Boks for a couple of games, usually actually had a great game for the Boks. The backline really did well, and that's all down to the man of the match performance of Herschel Jantjies at scrum half. He had quick service, he had sniping runs, he scored 2 tries in that game, and he just made a bunch of tackles, 8 out of 8 tackles for a guy on debut. So he had a great game. Although the attack of the Springboks were good, the defensive cohesion of the team was lacking a bit. 16 missed tackles from the Springboks, but the Wallabies also made 17 missed tackles. So going into next week, both of these teams can't afford to do that against the 2 great attacking sides, which is the All Blacks and the Pumas. Before the week, there were a couple of concerns of turnovers that Alstad could make, because he's not a traditional guy stealing balls from rucks, but he got a couple. And Franco Low, he had an exceptional game with turnovers, and usually South Africa used that ball that was turnovered to a good possession and actually scored tries from that. The Wallabies, they were under pressure at scrum time, especially in the second half. But they actually put the line out of the Springboks under pressure as well. They actually won 2 of the South African line outs. But they did give away 9 penalties in the game to the 6 of the Springboks. There was the other thing they did well. They actually did kick well in the game. They turned the back 3 of the South Africans around the whole time. Galant at fullback, he had a game to forget. He didn't have the greatest game. Few kicks went astray. He just did not have a good game. But I actually like him. Maybe in his next game he will step up, but it wasn't a good game to me. When the Wallabies actually brought on Genya, Tumua and Beale, that game changed around. They looked very dangerous with those guys on the field. So I think they'll probably start against Argentina next week. Then the next game was Argentina going down 16-20 to New Zealand. And the New Zealanders also fielded an experimental side to an extent, if you can actually call that. But to me, any team that plays for the All Blacks are supposed to be best in the world because they just have exceptional players over there. I mean, they had guys like Bowden Barrett and Laumape and Reese, and those guys have been exceptional this whole year, so it can't be a real experimental side. There was a lot of Crusaders not in the game though. As one of the subscribers said throughout the week or throughout the weekend, it actually came down to defense in this one. They hung on to their 4 points, the New Zealanders, for most of the second half till the end. And they weren't as clinical as they usually are with ball in hand, with that Argentinian rush defense against the New Zealanders that has been working all season in Super Rugby. The Argentinians, they also didn't have the best game, but to me they played a little bit better than the New Zealanders. I don't know, what's your opinion on that? The halftime score was 9-20 of the New Zealanders after that interception try from Retallick. That looked, if you look back at it at the end of the game, was very costly because that type of stuff you shouldn't be doing. It was a bad pass and an easy intercept for a tall guy like that. Sanchez at number 10, he had a good game. He had 1 try assist that was amazing with a cross kick to Buffelli, who is great in the air. If you want anyone to compare with Israel Folau of Australia, this is the guy to compare it with. But the Argentinians just tried everything and they could not cross the line. The All Blacks defense really held up. As I said that, the All Blacks won the game with 48% possession, only missing 6 tackles in the game to the 11 of the Argentinians. And they also got 12 turnovers in crucial areas on the park. Lineouts for New Zealanders actually struggled a bit against Petty and Lavanini. They actually won 3 lineouts of the New Zealanders, and the indiscipline of the New Zealanders continued. They actually gave away 11 penalties in that game to the 8 of the Argentinians. I actually watched this game in a restaurant the whole night, and at the end of the game everyone was just looking at the screen, holding their breath, hoping for a win for the Argentinians, because it was so close and it would have been well deserved to get that, but it was not to be, unfortunately. Heading into their next game against Australia, I think they should be pretty confident that they could pull one over on the Aussies. So that's what happened this week, guys. If you want to check out any of my other videos, it will be here next to my side or the side, I'm not sure. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see any more international content, and then I'll see you guys later this week. Cheers.